Good afternoon. We are live at 12:30. I am always excited to be here with you guys, of course. So I want to jump in and start with our check-in just so that we don't, I can use the best amount of our time because we are going into a good, healthy discussion today. So the 5-5-7 breath, again, for those that are new, you take a deep breath in, counting to 5. You hold for 5, you release for 7. So you're inhaling confidence and exhaling doubt. All right. And as you're holding for 5, you're thinking about all those things that doubt, all those fears that you have. And as you exhale for 7, you're pushing those out of your system. So let's take 2 of those deep breaths before we get started. It'll help to relax your body and prepare you for, the message as well as for the rest of your day. So we'll go here, slow breath, hold, and release. Again, deep breath in, hold, and release. Feeling better already. So today's a great day because it's book release day. Commitment to Self, I Do. Finding the Balance of Me in Me is on bookshelves at Amazon.com today. Later this week will be on Kindle ebooks. And then hopefully in the next 30 to 60 days, we'll have the audio version available. But super excited. The book is $15. It is the first in the Commitment to Self series. So it is an introduction to, my philosophy, the self-commitment and commitment to self kind of understanding with clarity of the who, what, and why process. It also introduces the Positive Advancement Transformation System. We use the acronym ADAPT, which I've used on several calls, which is awareness plus desire plus action plus perseverance plus time equals sustainable habit change. So that is the mantra and acronym that we use in the coaching practice in order to allow people to have something to refer to as they're going through the journey. So I go into detail about that process as well and give examples of how we can continue on our pathway. So hopefully you'll be able to get your copy. I would love your feedback once you've read it. Again, first book, not naming myself a writer yet, but definitely someone who manifested a vision, put it on paper, and hopes that it will be an inspiration to some, if not all. So there's my spin for today. But as we are looking at our conversation for today, I don't know if you can see the header, but it says balance versus harmony, needing both. So we're going to talk about the differences between balance and harmony, and understanding if you need both. Because honestly, I have always talked about balance and never really focused on the side of harmony, because harmony is really hard to achieve in everyday life because we're emotional creatures. But balance is about building habits and behaviors that are beneficial and that honor your body, both physically and mentally. And so it's the idea of keeping things in order. It's the idea of keeping all the balls in the air. It isn't perfection, and it isn't making all aspects of your life perfect. However, it is creating that, that equal distribution of time, energy, which we'll talk about later, in your life, so that everything gets the amount of time that it needs for it to be successful. Harmony, however, is kind of a positive state of mind. It's that inner peace. It's kind of the calmness. And even though it includes balance, it isn't just about balance, because it's also about the feeling of being tuned in to the world. So being mindful, being in the here and now. So you're experiencing things as they happen. And this state of mind is present even during challenges. So there's no level of frustration. So it's harder to achieve. It isn't plainly defined. Unlike balance that requires, an allocation of time and energy, harmony doesn't. Balance, we need to, like I said, it's time, it's energy, it's awareness. So it focuses on creating that equal attention, and you have to give the same amount of effort to the things in your life. Zig Ziglar has a quote that he says, "Life is about balance. Be kind, but don't let people abuse you. Trust, but don't be deceived. Be content, but never stop improving yourself." So having that mindset, which is more of a growth mindset, of course, because I'm always, we always want that growth mindset, not the fixed mindset, knowing that there's areas of opportunity where we can all change, we can all grow. No one is perfect, no one is in perfection. So there's always the opportunity, and knowing that we can be nice, but we don't have to let people take advantage of us, that we can trust people, but we don't have to be fooled, and we don't have to allow ourselves to succumb to what other people say. So this is how balance is created through action, perseverance, and time, which is 3 of the ADAPT processes that we use in the transformation system. And again, for those that have never heard it, ADAPT is an acronym we use to help people to stay focused on the journey. So it's awareness plus desire plus action plus perseverance and time equals sustainable habit change. So you have to be aware of what you want to change in your situation. You have to have that desire. You have to build desire towards it. Meaning, if I don't want to change, I'm not going to change. And then you have to create action steps. What am I going to do today? What is the first step in the process for me to create change in my life? And then understanding that once you make the decision to change, that it's going to take perseverance and time. Nothing is easy. Change isn't easy. I don't try to tell people that change is easy. Change is hard. When you want to stop smoking, drinking, when you want to, stop eating bad foods, when you want to, exercise more, it's a challenge, and you have to take baby steps in through those challenges. And the ADAPT process allows you to take small incremental steps towards sustainable habit change, making it full-time, making those behaviors continuous. So you have to understand that the journey is not going to be light. You have to understand that, behaviors that you have allowed to be a part of your operating system, meaning your body, your mind, for however old you are and however long you've had these habits, you can't think that overnight those habits will change. If you've smoked for 20 years, please do not think that it's going to take you 20 minutes to put that pack down. You're going to have to invest some time into yourself. You're going to have to invest some time into the actions that you're taking in order to move away from those things and to create some better habits and behaviors for yourself that put you on a pathway to what you want to achieve. So just keep that in mind, as we go. My dream catcher is above my head. It freaked me out a little bit because it just smoothed it. Oh, man. But so when we're talking about balance and harmony, these are 2 different things. Again, balance is structured. It takes time. It takes it takes energy. You have to allocate time and energy to it. Harmony is more of that inner peace. It's more of a feeling. It is a part of balance, but it is its own entity as well, because it keeps you in the here and now. It keeps you mindful. It is something that even during the challenges, like I said, you are going to maintain, as opposed to balance being something where you structure time to balance all these specific areas of your life. Harmony is just blanket. I am going to stay at peace. I'm going to have inner calm, and it doesn't matter what's going on in my life. I'm going to continue to do that and continue to be at that level. So that is the difference between the 2, and achieving the 2 in your life can be hugely beneficial. However, one is harder to achieve, and it does take time. Both take time and perseverance. All right. So tips to creating that balance and harmony in your life. I sprayed my balance spray here right before the call, but this is my favorite. It's Lotus Blossom and Bamboo to restore and fresh the mind. Love this guy. So that's one way. I love balance. Just aromas create balance in a space when I'm in it. For some reason, candles create balance. Watching a flame flicker and be quiet, or to hear a small pop from a fireplace, all of those things bring a sense of calm to me for some reason. Hearing the waves of the ocean, being outside and hearing the breeze pass my ear, all of those things bring a sense of calm when I am in a moment of frustration. So, that is a way to create balance. But also, having some awareness of the things that are going on around you and creating some realistic goals. I have big, lofty dreams for positive advancement. I have big, lofty dreams for be bold, be brave, believe. But when I start setting goals to move the platform forward, I'm very realistic. Book release today. Again, I do not proclaim to be a writer, but I do proclaim to be someone who manifests a vision, who puts words on paper and believes in those words. And I believe that hopefully, someone will be inspired by those words, regardless of someone who judges it by, the errors they may find in the book. So that's my here and now. That's me being mindful of what's in front of me, because I feel the anointing. I feel God being a part of this situation and the growth that I'm having. And this will be an opportunity for me to continue to grow. And so I take it in a positive, not a negative. When I get negative feedback, I always take it and I say, well, what can I do to continue to grow this and move it forward? Because I'm not going to stop my dream. I'm not going to stop the vision that I have. What I will do, though, is take the feedback and take it to heart and say, you know what, where can I make change? Is it on me to make change, or do I need to make a change at all? So that is where I stay in that realistic vision. And sometimes the goal is, I want to sell 5 books and I want to have a book reading, and then I want to start the next book. Because bam, that's me. That's me. That's me to a T. But setting unrealistic goals, it only creates undue stress and anxiety, especially when failure happens, because we put so much energy and time into trying to achieve these goals. Like, I want to be a millionaire tomorrow. I want to do this and I want to do that. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. Okay? We all do. I don't know if I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow, but it's achievable. But I'm being realistic that it's probably not going to be tomorrow. So that is the difference. We have to have a clear mindset when we're setting goals, and we have to know what we're capable of. We know where we are. If you don't know where you are, you need to have some awareness of where you are and say, what can I do today that will get me one step closer to that $1 million? Not, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. Have the right mindset. Then also you need to disconnect, because when we're trying to be mindful, sometimes we are so caught up in everything else going on that we can't focus on figuring those things out. What's happening right in front of me right now? Be present, remove the distractions and be vigilant in how you treat yourself, but also, creating those boundaries against everything else. Because for me, one of the things I like is when I'm concentrating on something, I have to concentrate in silence. And part of it is because I take on the emotions around me. A lot of people don't, kind of believe in empaths, but I am susceptible to other people's emotions. So I don't call myself an empath, but I'm very susceptible to other people's emotions. Meaning when someone's upset, it can adversely affect me to the point where I get emotional and upset. I am the one that will watch a movie and cry severely, like seriously cry. That's me. I'm that girl. So it's a thing. And we have to realize that energy exists around us. So you can feed off, feel, and absorb other people's energy. When someone comes in a room and they are in a bad mood or they have an attitude, your boss walks in, they're having a bad day from a meeting, you can absorb that energy. You can tell when the energy is sucked dry out of a room because of someone's negativity. So if you don't believe in empaths, you should at least believe in the transference of energy and how things work. When you're in an argument with someone, you can definitely feel the transference of energy when you guys start to argue and go back and forth, and you're transferring all of that frustration. You can feel the buildup of the height of that anger in the space. It's almost like you can't breathe sometimes, like it's thick air. That's the energy transferring, but also spreading and enveloping the space. So if someone walks in that room, they're going to immediately know, either by expression or by the temperature in the space, that something's going on and they need to go the other way. So all of these things are a part of how we need to learn to deal with the situations around us, the energy that's around us. When we're in a bad space, we need to leave that space. When you start feeling, your intuition is great. When you start feeling negative energy, that you're not in the right environment, when your intuition is telling you that something's wrong, you need to bolt. You need to get out of that energy. You need to get out of that space, and you need to get yourself somewhere where you can regroup and reclaim your energy, the energy of who you are. And then if you're the cause of the energy, you need to evaluate that and fix it, because it only impacts those around you. So disconnecting, being more mindful, creating awareness, setting realistic goals, but also focusing on the physical man. I always bring that up, because if your physical man is not well, if you're not focused on your physical well-being, then you're not going to be able to do anything else anyway. You're not going to be able to focus on finances. You're not going to be able to focus on all these other things, because you're either going to be too tired, too sick, susceptible to everything going on around you. You're not going to be in a good place in order to give 100% of yourself to anything. We have to worry about our physical man, and that includes how we eat, what we drink, the amount of sleep that we're getting. Insomniacs, I'm going to tell you now, there is a point where you are going to break. There is a point where your body is going to tell you that it's tired of not resting. There is a point where you're going to have mental stress. There is a point where you're going to physically have a result from not taking care of yourself properly, not eating, especially if you're doing other things in addition to that, that are also affecting your body. Time catches up with us. Father Time is not going to be beaten. Okay? He's just not going to be beaten. And take it from someone who knows. I'm speaking from experience. These autoimmune conditions didn't come out of anywhere. And yes, some of this is genetics, but a lot of this is, 15 years of dedicating time to things that were not productive, that, and even working a job that, 2-hour commute up, 2-hour commute back, knees hurt, back hurts, not eating lunch because I'm working through meetings or I have a project due 5 or 6 days out of the week. Those things will impact you. And it is about the quality of life for me now that I'm making different decisions for myself. But the reason I coach and the reason that I do this is for the simple fact that I don't want people to be reactive like I've had to be. I am now in a reactive state of trying to create well-being, when we need to be in a proactive state of well-being, meaning we need to think about things ahead of the game. What is the end result? What if I continue this way, what will it cause for the rest of my life? Not just tomorrow, but what will it do to me in the future? And what are my examples of that? Because there are examples all around, that give us clarity on what will happen to us if we continue with the certain behaviors that we want to change, the certain habits that we need to change. So having that mindset of understanding in the here and now, how does this impact me? Understanding how it's going to impact you future forward, but creating those action steps now and staying focused and mindful on those steps. That is what we need to do. And then going right into that, my next one is work smarter, not harder. Lesson learned. Keep things in perspective and try to create efficiencies where you can. You know, your job is your job. We understand all of that. But we need to be able to have work-life balance. We need to be able to create efficiencies on the things that we can control. We should not be stressed or try to manage things that we cannot control. You know, certain things are just going to happen, and and it is what it is. I don't stress about things I can't control anymore. You know, if I can't control it, if you don't like me, I can't control your feelings. I can't control how you want to be. If you don't like the shoes I'm wearing or the the earrings I have on that day, I can't control that, nor will I care, nor will I worry about it. And, you know, a lot of people have taken the level of harmony that I have in my life now, which means that, you know, that inner peace, that calm, as I don't care. And it's more than I don't care. It is the point of I can't let the things that I can't control me anymore. And when I allow them to control me, I'm bitter, I'm upset. It's just like the person that won't forgive. I forgive you because it's for me. The forgiveness is for me. It's not for you. And I won't forget. And I don't have to forget. Because honestly, that helps me to shape and figure out how I want to interact with people like you in the future. So these are lessons learned. So I don't have to forget the lessons that I've learned, but I do need to let all that hate, all those emotions that come with it, I need to let those go. Because it does nothing for me. It doesn't build me up. It doesn't build my confidence. It doesn't make me a better person. It doesn't help me move forward better. It just holds me back. It just, it weighs me down, and I don't need it. I'm focused. I want to be driven, and to be driven and focused and to have balance and to create harmony, you got to understand that people are who they are. So now you know how people are, you know how situations are, you know how things are. And now you can move away from it and say, okay, so that's how it was. That's how that person was. What I learned from it was XYZ. And what I will do moving forward is ABC. And then you just let it go. You just let it go. You have bigger fish to fry. You have bigger things to do. And I know I say that as if it's easy. It isn't, because I always say, take your couple days to grieve. We should grieve. We should allow the pain to be felt, because that's how we understand what we learn from it. That's how we absorb and understand the lesson. But you don't take it into weeks, into months. You don't stop eating, stop drinking. You don't stop life. You don't quit your job. You don't do those things. You have to understand that, one, God's not going to give you more than you can bear. So you are in a place of power. So you have to understand how to tap into that power during these moments to create that sustainable push forward. It is nothing that can stop you. There is nothing out here that can stop you but you. So you have to keep that in mind. And I'm going to be 45. So that's me hitting that point now. I was not that point in my 20s and 30s. So this is not a long felt belief or clarity or understanding in life. But I'm hoping those that are listening in their 20s and 30s can get this mindset now, because then at 45, you won't be dealing with all the things that, I am working through now in life, because I didn't have that mindset. We have to be on a driven mindset, purpose driven, not focused on how people are treating us, because people are going to be people. The world is going to be negative. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be hurtful. They're always going to have something to say. Always, 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 always. But at the end of the day, you can block that out. You can learn to take it with a grain of salt. You can take what you need from it and you can move on. Because sometimes the advice is fair. It's just the voice is unfair. Your advice is great, but the way that your delivery sucks. And I've had to tell people that, like, I understand what you're saying and I appreciate it. I really appreciate it, because I needed to hear it. But you need to work on your delivery, because when we talk about treating people in a certain type of way, your delivery has to be better for people to always receive it. Not everyone will receive it like me, because I've learned to receive and reject the negative. I'll receive what I need and reject the negative. But not everybody can receive things that way. So then you're pushing people away from you when you want to bring them in. So if you're the cause, again, like I said, you need to work on that. But if they're the cause and you're receiving it, you just need to learn how to process that information and move away. It's fine. So work smarter, not harder. Create awareness, set realistic goals. You know, we need to create boundaries. We need to learn to disconnect. We need to be more mindful. These are kind of the things that I was, you know, we shared. The physical man, our physical well-being, top of the list. Like, keep it. You need to make sure that you are good at all times. You know, take care of yourself. If you don't feel good, go to the doctor. Make sure you take care of yourself to the point where you are establishing that baseline of what your body, you know yourself. So your baseline is here. If you're below the baseline, something's wrong. It's not there. You need to get it back on track. You know, so that is on you to understand your physical man and to work toward having your physical wellness. And, you know, I'm always about physical wellness. It's a huge part of our monthly calls that we'll be having on the first Friday of every month. If you haven't made any of those calls, the first call was the first Friday of January. The second one is February 2nd. But in June and July, we are doing a 2-part series on physical wellness. And we are also doing a in-person wellness walk to take it a step further, because that's how important I feel that physical wellness is to us when we're on this journey, because you got to take care of your physical man first before you can do anything else. And then the last part, you know, this is always my disclaimer, because I want people to understand that there's a difference between coaching, what I do, and there is a difference between what, you know, medical professionals do to support you when you're on the journey. And I want to clarify the two. You know, there are some individuals, you know, when coaches do a consultation with a prospective client, one of the things that we always ask you on the journey is about yourself and about the things that you're going through. We are able to perceive from that conversation and how we steer that conversation if you are ready, one, for the coaching journey, because it is a dual side. It's a, you know, it's a two-sided thing. You know, I do my part, you do yours. So if you're not doing your part, then you're not going to see the results. And I have to do my part in order to bring out those results in you. So sometimes someone is not ready for the coaching journey, and sometimes they're not ready because they don't want to change. Okay, so I'm just going to put it out there blanket. I tell you that from Jump Street. I'm not going to take your money. I'm not going to work with you if you're not ready for the journey. It doesn't make any sense. That is not why I'm here. But the other side of it is some of us are dealing with a lot of trauma, a lot of grief, a lot of things that require not just a conversation and, you know, steps and techniques that we use in the coaching practice. You need, you know, to be diagnosed with a condition. You need to have certain medical support in order to even start the coaching process. So one of the things that we will advise you is to make sure that you seek professional help when you need it. Don't feel ashamed when you need help or emotional support, whether it be from a coach, a psychiatrist, your physician, your primary doctor. You know, coaches will tell you in a second when the coaching experience is not for you. And that is because we want you to have your best life. And sometimes it takes you going, you know, to your doctor to say something is wrong. I need more support here. We work with doctors all the time. Some of us are board certified. We work with doctors. We work with nutritionists. We work with other types of clinicians and dietitians to support individuals, because doctors aren't nutritionists. So sometimes they'll refer you to a nutritionist. We help support those activities in order to make sure you have a holistic and wholehearted, fully rounded process and treatment plan. But we are not medical professionals that will diagnose you with the condition. So when there are things going on that you're not informing us of and being open and transparent, your journey is in vain. So I always try to pull out that information from my clients first to let you know if you need additional support. But I urge anyone that is not under a coach, that is feeling stress, that is feeling any type of grief or trauma or past trauma, things that have affected you in a way that you need additional support, I'm telling you to seek that support. And I can refer you to someone. I would love to help you through any of the process that you need. You can inbox me privately. You can call me. I think my number's somewhere on the website, but if not, I can give it at the end of the call. But I'm dead serious about that when I talk about it, because these calls are to support you and build you up. But if there are other things going on, you want to make sure you get the help that you need, the support you need. I'm here for you. There are many of us that will put a circle of love around you to make sure that you get what you need. But you need to reach out. You need to ask for help. So, disclaimer, fully acknowledged and pushed out there into the world, breathing life for anyone that needs it. So that is kind of where we are there. And then, simply put, you can experience balance and harmony when you accept who you are, and what matters most to you. So when we start making things a priority, when we start prioritizing the important things in our lives, we start to fill the voids, of what's missing. We start to fill those voids and we start to create action around the things that we need. So if you want balance, if you want harmony, and you're in a good place, but you just can't figure certain things out, you need to challenge yourself. What is missing? What do you feel is missing? And most of us know. If it's something in your relationship, it's harder to verbalize. But if you manifest it through journaling, if you put it through meditation, and if you have, a religious background, if you pray on it and allow God to reveal things to you slowly, you will be able to create action around those things. You'll be able to communicate better. It's about building up our confidence, because why do we want to walk through life in challenging relationships and challenging moments? We don't. We choose to because it's easier than facing it. But it's time for us to start facing those issues. It's time for us to start facing those challenges and to say, look, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I like you, but you have issues that you need to work out before our friendship can move forward. I love this job, but I have to tell you that you guys aren't using all my skills and talents, and I don't know if this is the job for me. These are the things that we have to face and be real about. Or we're just doing all this stuff to be doing it. And I heard on a podcast that I was listening to this morning, and the guy said, and I know we're a little over, I'm about to end up, but he said, if you think your life is for you to come here, work, pay bills, and die, you are so sadly mistaken. And that's where we have to come out of. I know that I'm not here to just work, pay bills, and die. I know that my purpose is greater than that. It's already been revealed to me through God, and I'm thankful to Him for that revelation. But for people that are stuck in that rotation of life and feel that there's nothing else that they're supposed to be doing, I'm asking you to rethink that. I'm asking you right now to rethink that, revamp it, and come back to me with the better answer. That's what I'm asking for today. But again, I have to tell you that, it is disheartening to see how people suffer and how they put themselves through a lot of challenges and suffering, doing things that they don't love, doing things that they don't care about. And, having the opportunity to get up and do something I care about every day is a blessing. So I am telling you to keep that as a point of focus, as we wrap up today. I know we went over because I had some serious things I wanted to share, but, that's only because I love you. And I really want you all to be living your best life and in your best moments. So the key, again, to that winning mindset, when we talk about being able to have balance and harmony in our lives, even when the moments are super crazy and we're out of it, we are not to be led by our emotions. That's the first thing. We need to lead our emotions and control our response to better create action and change around the areas of opportunity in our life. We talked about, setting realistic goals, having that awareness, disconnecting and being more mindful. We talked about our physical well-being, work smarter, not harder. That's my new mantra. And then seeking professional help when needed, and understanding that I myself and others will be a resource to you, that I will refer you to any of my friends who are doing, psychology and psychiatry and doing therapy and anything that you need to further your self on the journey, because not everything comes through the coaching side. Like I said, we don't do medical diagnosis. When you guys are going through trauma, when you need other levels of support, we are going to refer you to that support. So understanding how we can be supportive in that process, we can definitely support you through that process and help you to create that balance. But I definitely want you to know that if you are going through things that you need help, there are resources available to you. There's support and love available for you, and we will make sure that you get that. This Circle of Trust, Positive Advancement, Be Bold, Be Brave, Believe, our wellness initiatives, it is all centered around getting you the help you need and the support you need, and steering you to the people that will be the best support, accountability partner, and guide for you. So you must trust and believe that there is a love circle that will help you and help you transition when you need that support. So that was another disclaimer, because like I said, I had some serious things that I wanted to bring up today in regards to balance and harmony. But I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate you staying on later than usual. And I cannot wait till next week. Again, if you haven't gotten your copy of the book, it is out. Amazon.com. Commitment to Self I Do. So we are excited. I will be announcing where we'll be doing our book readings and book signings. And like I said, it's me manifested on a page. It's my philosophy manifested on a page, but it's also, I pray something that will inspire others. I'm all about, pushing people to be in their greatness. So this is me wanting to share with you that you can also be in your greatness. So love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. Thursday, the blog will be out. Next Friday, we will be doing our monthly call on one of our dimensions of wellness. So I'm super excited about that. So you can join. That'll be via Zoom, and the Zoom link is on the Facebook page as well as the website. But I will be sending out a reminder on both platforms this week. So looking forward to seeing people next week. And then we are locking in spaces for Be Bold, Be Brave, Believe 2025. So I'm super excited to be partnering with Germanna College, which is our local college out here in Stafford, Fredericksburg. And we'll be using their space for our indoor wellness event on that Friday. And then Saturday, I'm working with the city of Fredericksburg to get one of our parks, which will be the event for the outdoor walk run event. So we are super excited. We are in fundraising mode for 2024, and we are hoping this will be a massive event for this area. So we are super excited about that. June 2025. All right, guys, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.